The Carnival debacle continues with the Health Minister, Minister of National Security, and Leader of the Opposition weighing in, and the Leader of the Opposition also saying that the F&M needs a new direction. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Simonet with your Jcn News for this Tuesday, December 14th. Despite having been denied approval to operate this holiday season, from the look of things, preparations are still underway for the opening of this year's Christmas holiday carnival on Clifford Park. As the carnival opening saga continues, following the Ministry of Health officials citing that they were not satisfied that carnival operators would consistently be able to safely enforce COVID-19 rules, even if motivated. When approached by Jcn's news team Tuesday morning, carnival officials declined to comment, but said that they have considered and are in strict compliance with all CDC guidelines. Well, just before the weekly cabinet meeting today, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville gave an update on his position on the carnival debacle.
The update is that the last EOC meeting, the carnival was not approved. There was a temporary meeting held sometime last week, and at that meeting, carnival was instructed to submit another application with protocols. That application was received by the ministry yesterday, and that was forwarded to the EOC. We understand that there would be an EOC meeting on Wednesday. I don't want to preempt anything, but that's where we are now. And so the EOC would be sitting on Wednesday and a determination will be made.
In response to suggestions on the possibility of a mass outbreak of COVID-19 as a result of events with large gatherings like the carnival, Dr. Darville says that the Ministry of Health and the Emergency Operations Center are working diligently to ensure that the carnival and all similar events do not result in a super spreader scenario this holiday season.
The EOC has certain protocols that they take into consideration. It's a team of experts, medical experts, as well as people in the community. Multiple events have gone through the EOC. And I stand by the EOC. They are a well-structured body. And for us, because we have removed so many factors as it relates to COVID-19, the only control or mechanism of control we have is to really address gatherings with large numbers, and protocols must be put in place to prevent the possibility of a super spreader event.
The EOC is set to reconvene today to make a final decision on whether sufficient safety measures are in place for the carnival to operate. As the holiday carnival confusion continues, the Free National Movement declares the opposition's position. Party leader Michael Pintard on Tuesday told the press at the party headquarters that the party is guided by science.
We are trusting the science. If the COVID team and the consultants and staff of the Ministry of Health have made a determination that it is unsafe for the Bahamian people, we are going to err on the side of caution. I mean, it's one of the simpler things to do is look at best practices internationally, or where this and other carnivals have operated. Have they been able to satisfy protocols, following the rules and the science, and then make a determination from there. We just believe, as a rule, we ought to follow the advice of the experts.
Meantime, the Marco City MP also urged the government to come clean and state precisely what transpired with holiday carnival approvals.
And more importantly, government officials have to just fess up very quickly so we could move on and say, listen, here is what I am aware of. And if a mistake is made, to just indicate that such a mistake was made so we can move on. Some real serious issues affecting Bahamians, and to be preoccupied with the back and forth is really unnecessary.
Meantime, the Ministry of National Security's legal section is set to come up with a preliminary position outlining whether it's against the law for holiday carnival operators to continue operating, despite not being approved by the Ministry of Health. National Security Minister Wayne Munro this morning, just ahead of the weekly cabinet meeting, spoke from the legal standpoint in this carnival debacle.
To enforce a law that is not extant would be the first issue. I've been looking at it, and we've been discussing it with regard an enforcement perspective. I know clearly that outdoor events like the carnival require certain protocols, vaccination or testing. I've asked for an opinion from my legal section on whether it actually requires an approval. wait to see that.
He adds that the legal position is expected to be handed over to the Office of the Attorney General once it's completed. That's also expected to be done at some point today, according to the minister. Well, prior to the health minister's comments on where he stands with regards to the Christmas holiday carnival, Free National Movement Senator Maxine Seymour called out the Progressive Liberal Party during her contribution to the debate on the merchant shipping bill in the upper chamber on Monday. Senator Seymour slammed the government on the carnival debacle as she contends there's confusion over the situation. Tabling a letter allegedly written by the Ministry of Finance and addressed to the PLP Secretary General, Barbara Cartwright, the contents of which indicated that the ministry gave approval to the PLP for the temporary importation of equipment, apparatus, trailers, and supplies for the Carnival Extravaganza 2021. Senator Seymour noted that while she is not suggesting it to be so, says the denial by health officials could possibly have been staged and we come back with another illusion type of situation where eventually it is approved and our Bahamian children are indeed on the merry-go-round this season. Asked about the letter tabled in the upper chamber, Mr. Darville says he was unaware of the letter, adding this.
I have no response to the document being tabled because the senator have a right to say what you want to say. I could speak specifically as the Minister of Health and what my job is. My job, based on our committee, is to look objectively at every event and make a determination of whether the event is safe and Bahamian people can be protected. That's what I do, and that's what I will continue to do. And in order to do that, I can't do it by myself. I need some medical support, and I need people who will be objective. And of course, even in our meetings, some people are for, some people are against. But at the end of the day, we have to have a system in place in the country to prevent super spread events.
Senator Seymour says she is keeping an eye out on the situation. Operators of the carnival have since resubmitted their requests and await another decision from the Ministry of Health. Leader of the opposition Michael Pintard says that the Free National Movement needs to move in a new direction. He shared this much with members of the press on Tuesday while setting the record straight on who speaks on the caucus position on matters of national concerns.
I want to say clearly that former parliamentarians, cabinet ministers, chairpersons, whether in boards, corporations, or authorities, and other team members will, from time to time, correct distortions of our record by PLP operatives, and will also share about our past motivations or intentions to put forward some of the crucial decisions that we made. However, the new direction of the F&M will be communicated by me as leader and by our spokespersons who will communicate to the public the message agreed upon by our parliamentary caucus and party.
The Marco City MP sends reassurances to F&M supporters and the general public that the opposition will defend the party's record over the last 50 years when necessary, adding that there are some fundamental ways the party may part ways on positions taken before.
As leader who has served in the last F&M government, I will vigorously defend legislation, policies, programs, and projects that benefited the Bahamian people and our country's role in the international community. Under my leadership, this team will be fierce advocates of positions and initiatives that advance this incredible country and all of its people. In some cases, this will mean maintaining the posture taken over the last 4.5 years.
Under his team leadership, Mr. Pintard says that the F&M will focus on moving the country forward. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.